What's up, everyone? Welcome to Total Football. Another week, and the World Cup's begun. We are up and running. So, without any further ado, let's just get straight into it. If you're in New Zealand, Australia, obviously, as you know, a lot of late nights, early mornings. So, if you're like me and you're running on a 2 or 3 hour sleep or power nap in between to catch all the games that have been the last 4 or 5 days, then good on you. We've still got another 60 or odd games to go for the rest of the month. So we'll kick off with Russia versus Saudi Arabia. The host nation, of course, as you know, Russia. This is their home tournament, and what a way to start. 5-0 against Saudi Arabia, and it has to be said, Saudi Arabia, of course, the less said about their defending, they could potentially be the worst team in World Cup history. I mean, Russia, not a great team, but Saudi Arabia made them look like a world-class team. And you've got to give props to Russia because this is their home tournament, and this is exactly the sort of start that they wanted to have. Get the nation behind them, score 5 goals. Some of them have to be said, some cracking goals as well. And so perfect start for Russia. Saudi Arabia, it's only going to get tougher for them from here. They play Uruguay next, who had a narrow win against Egypt. For me, I was disappointed with Uruguay's performance. Obviously, Egypt should have at least got something out of that game. They were the better team, it has to be said, and defended so well, and I felt very, very much heartbroken for them after conceding a very late goal to Jose Jimenez. But no Mohamed Salah in the Egyptian side, so I thought for some time he was going to come on. He was on the bench for them. Obviously, as you know, Mohamed Salah got injured in the Champions League final against Real Madrid after dislocating his shoulder, but it seems like he has come back to full fitness. He was on the bench for the Egyptians, but didn't get on the game, and Uruguay narrowly stealing that match. You have to feel for the Egyptians. Hopefully Mohamed Salah starts. It would be nice to see him play in the remaining games in their group, the next 2 games against Russia and Saudi Arabia, and hopefully they can get a win. But that really does set them back, and it puts them in a really bad position. So they now have to beat Saudi Arabia and the host nation Russia to have any hope of qualifying. Game of the tournament so far, Spain v Portugal, and that man again, Cristiano Ronaldo, he's going to be stealing all the headlines after his hat-trick against Spain, and what a hat-trick it was. I mean, for me, the standout game of the tournament so far has to be that one. Cristiano Ronaldo, the GOAT debate again is going to continue between him and Messi, and of course, after Messi's performance against Iceland, who could argue that Cristiano Ronaldo right now could well be the best player on the planet. I mean, he was outstanding against Spain. Spain dominated the game, but it was the most exciting game to watch. 3-3, Ronaldo with the hat-trick, as I said. They ended up, Spain ended up conceding a penalty within the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game. Stepped up Ronaldo, slotted it in. They came back with a Costa goal that was excellent, and that was taken really well by Diego Costa, turning the defenders in and out and scoring. The second goal for Portugal, error from David De Gea, of course, which is very, very unusual, but nonetheless, Ronaldo took that really well. Third goal from Spain, Nacho more than well made up for his error and the penalty that he gave away against Ronaldo. That has to be a contender for one of the goals of the tournament. I mean, how great was that goal? No chance for Rui Patricio. And in the dying minutes, 84 or 5th minute, towards the end of the game, Ronaldo with the free kick to seal what was an incredible hat-trick. What did you guys make of that game? Was that for me, it has to be the best game so far. What did you guys make of it? What did you make of Ronaldo's performance? Let me know in the comments section what you thought about the game. On to France and our neighbours, the Australians. and the first controversial VAR call in that game. Obviously, FIFA had announced that video ref was going to be used in the tournament, and it has to be said, I was really, really disappointed for the Australians. I thought they played really well. They more than stood up to the French, who are favourites in this tournament, of course, as you guys would know. And I thought that Australia at least should have come away with something. Obviously, the VAR giving that penalty to France. What did you guys make of that call? Was that a penalty? Was it a soft penalty to give away? What did you make of the VAR call? Let me know. Antoine Griezmann scoring for the French. 4 minutes later, Australia get a penalty of their own. And Umtiti, I have no idea what he was thinking, the hand of God. But it worked out to be the complete opposite. And I think he lost his mind there for a moment. And Mila Jedinak, stepping up and equalising for Australia. And the Aussies, up until that point, I thought, they were going to come away with a draw, and that freak of a goal from Paul Pogba, who was anonymous throughout the entire game. Him and N'Golo Kante, they were overrun by Aaron Moy, Mila Jedinak in that Australian midfield, and I have to give props to the Australians in the way that they played. They were solid, they were compact, they were competing, and those 50-50s, they were winning it all, and you have to say, they should have at least got something out of that game. And you feel for them because they are, of course, in that group of death that everyone is talking about. Mexico with a huge, huge scalp against Germany, the defending champions. 1-0 to Mexico and El Tri, top of the group. Hopefully they make it to the knockout stages. Mexico, huge, huge fan base, obviously, as you know. But Germany, the defending champions, losing to Mexico 1-0. Some of the other games, obviously, Qureshi beat Nigeria 2-0. Again, it was one of those games. Croatia, their first shot on target was that penalty that was given away as well. It has to be said, there have been quite a few penalties given away. I think 4 or 5 now in the last 6 or 7 games that we had. Switzerland v Brazil, 1-1. Coutinho with a screamer. Switzerland equalising in the second half, and that ended 1-1. So, again, Denmark as well, also beating Peru. Let me know what you thought of the games so far. What has been your highlight of the tournament so far? What's been your favourite game? For me personally, I have to say Spain versus Portugal, the draw. There's been some huge upsets of obviously Mexico beating Germany, the defending champions, and Iceland's draw against Argentina. Some cracking goals. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so by clicking the link below, and we'll see you next week when we try and wrap up the rest of the week's action and next week's games. Thanks very much. Subscribe, like, and we'll see you next time.